Hello, welcome in. Willow Mac Dupu, who was unfortunately shot during his message. Just any volcano, presumably. 75 streams, wowie. That's probably a lot, I don't know. In relation to a year, who could say? Tonight's main goal is to have more moves from Molma. I think I know what I want to do. It needs to be worth it, perhaps. Maybe. Gotta come up with some way to make it worth it. Okay, so here's the idea. She can throw bombs, but they don't automatically detonate. There's a specific separate move called detonate, where she, I don't know, pulls out a big old-fashioned plunger, and then all the bombs on the field explode, like it or not. Now, I had been keeping a pretty consistent pattern of everybody gets 2 starter moves. And I'm willing to bend that. A little bit. So I think maybe we're gonna have to maintain a list of bombs on the field at any given time. So here's my thought, is we modify the dig move slightly and make it so that not only does she deal damage to the enemy, but she also, on a successful run, she leaves behind a bomb. A tiny one, a firecracker. That's going to be her base bomb, is a little firecracker. She will have one bonus attack that actually costs energy to use, called something like firecrackers, where she will just scatter just 5 or so firecrackers across the arena. Probably more than that. And then once you use the detonate move, all firecrackers explode, dealing probably 1 damage each. 1 damage, is that enough damage? Considering that a firecracker can probably hit multiple foes, or no? Maybe not. Maybe firecrackers are like 1 only. But then a bigger bomb you get later can actually do you AoE. So firecracker will be like, it will hit the closest thing within a certain range, and that's it. So these bombs will not have any timer. Maybe later she can get a special move that's like a time bomb. But that does mean she's gonna start with 3 moves, which is gonna make her very different. And you'll have to kind of plan her out a bit. You know what? What if the base dig move, if we want to make that one leave behind a firework as like a little bonus, What if it's scattered somewhere in the little setup here? And the idea is like, oh, not only do you have to get to the end, but if you also get the firecracker along the way, then you could maybe do some bonus damage if you're gonna play for firecrackers. It gives you something to kind of consider trying differently, you know? I'm willing to give it a go. So this is going to be firecrackers, and it goes on the enemy team, which is, I think, the first time that we've done a move against... Well, no, there is the bird beak barrage is technically against the enemy team, even though it doesn't always hit all enemies. That's based on the action command. But yeah, firecracker will be on the enemy team. A nuke it from... I mean, I assume that eventually we'll get to a point where somehow you acquire new moves throughout the game for each partner. I'm thinking of tying it to specific quests. So each partner can have like a couple of quests that are specific to them in some way, like it's about them. And the end result is like, not only did you kind of learn a little bit more of their backstory, but also you get a little bit of something that they can use in battle. But I think that's how Bug Fables did a lot of them. Not a lot, but one new move each, I guess. It's like each partner had a single quest. Now in that game there were only 3 partners. They were like team members. There was no main. It is. I mean, I'm not gonna buy it since I already own it. But I'll go look to verify. It is on sale. It's $10. They're doing a bundle with Escape from Ever After. It should have been me. Okay, firecrackers. How are we going to do the firecracker? I'm gonna say the firecrackers get spread pretty evenly. You were thinking of picking it up and playing it. I like it. But it is very much that style of game. A very paper-like game that it's like, all right, it's going to have these things because that's what the genre has. I do appreciate that it's very much got its own world and plot beats going on. The 3-team member party system works very well. It sets it apart quite a bit. I feel like the ending is kind of just like it almost feels like the plot kind of peters out at the end. It's like you have this big grand final battle, and then it's like, and yeah, I guess everything's resolved. The end. That's really my only real complaint on Bug Fables. Other than that, it's great. Okay. Firecracker. We're gonna do a press the right buttons. What are our valid... well, let's... You know what? We're gonna build that as a full action command that we can manage. So we're gonna have a new action command. It's not a Simon Says action command. What would we call this? It's the kind that... Hang on. I had my list of action commands. I guess... No. No, I had a bigger list somewhere. I had a bigger list. I think it's one of Vivian's moves, the one that like blasts everything with fire, that she gets a little bit like at her first upgrade, I think. Now that one's limited to A and B, so you only get 2 different buttons to have to push. I think I might be confusing this with a different move. Or maybe even with Veil. So a lot of Vivian's moves were all about press the button as it appears on the screen. So it'd be like 5 question marks, and then the minigame starts. It reveals the first one. Quick, push that button. Beep. Okay, it reveals the second one. Quick, push that button. Beep. It reveals the third one. Quick, push that button. Beep. And the more that you correctly get before you make a mistake or run out of time, the better the results. Very straightforward. I would love to do that. I think what we're going to do is we're going to build out an action command that includes list. First thing, it's going to be parameterized. We're going to have list of available buttons as a parameter. We're going to have number of buttons to mash as a parameter. And also whether or not to show all or only show the next. Those are the 3 things that can be modified to make a very different experience, which is good. Remember, we're not on a money budget. We're on a self-imposed time budget. And the idea of we code it once now and we can use it 3 different ways down the road, that's huge. Like if later I turn it into press up and down alternating in a random fashion, but do it like 10 times. Up, up, down, down, up, down, 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 up. Especially if I come up with some, like, what if you see it, you have to memorize it, and then you have to repeat it. Ooh. See, that would be annoying. That's just annoying. No, so we're going to start with the basics of just build a system where it can be some number of buttons, and we decide which buttons are in the pool of buttons. What are the pool of buttons? A, B. Is it just A and B? Let's add in like an X. Maybe even a Y. I don't know. Speaking of, I really screwed things up earlier with the controller remapping. And I made it so the controller was basically completely useless because too many things were mapped to one button, so I could no longer edit buttons without canceling out of the menu. So, we need to consider some kind of safeguard for that. I don't know what that would look like. At the very least, some kind of instructions, like you can upload instruction books to Steam. Some kind of instructions for where to go to delete your preferences, your like customization, like control management, and technically that also messes with volume settings, but whatever. But yeah, what do you do if you really mess up your control configuration? At the very least, some kind of highlight to let you know, like, hey, you've got these 2 set to the same button, and I don't think they should ever be allowed to do that. Either a soft warning or a flat-out refusal to allow cancel and confirm to be the same button. I get, like, if you wanted to swap them, it's very annoying to have like a swap variable for them. Like, all right, so this one's on A, this one's on B, and I want to swap them. Well, first I got to move this one to C, and then move this one to A, and then move C to B. That's annoying, but necessary, I think. So maybe we do just have some kind of flat-out block. control remapping works. But, you know, there's some buttons that should not ever have the same button. Specifically, all 4 of the face button ones. I don't know. Like, do we like save a copy of your controller settings before you start editing it, and then if you make a conflict, I don't know, we just have some kind of, you know, we will revert, you know, confirm, or will revert automatically after X seconds. But I definitely need something where if you screw up your input mapping and you make 2 things the same button that aren't allowed to do that, I've got some way to roll it back. And I have no idea exactly how that's going to work. Like, what happens in a modern title if you set confirm and cancel to the same button? What does that do? Honestly, what does that do? Oh my gosh, it's Al! What do we do? Pluh. You just walk away. Al, thank you for the raid. I hope Doom was good. I hope it was eternal. We're gonna make new moves, but we're gonna make new action commands first. I was trying to think what happens in a game. Al, you play video games. You might know what happens in a video game if you have controller remapping as a feature, and you set confirm and cancel to the same button. What do you do? What do you do in that situation? Because now, what happens when you go back to what do you do? What do you even do with that? You would say just don't let 2 things be the same button. Or swap. You know what? That may be what we need. I don't know, because there's some overlap. And I don't know. I can enforce it. I can say, no, these are always the same button. Specifically, okay, jump and confirm. There's nothing in the rulebook that says they have to be the same button. So I allow the player to map them to different things. But maybe they should be intrinsically linked in some way. And changing one automatically changes the other. Like if you change jump to middle mouse, then confirm also automatically updates to middle mouse or something. And then we could do a button trade. That's true. Like one for UI and yeah. It's the same issue, of course. Just hiding it. Like spin and cancel. Maybe you prefer for jump and cancel to be on the same button and confirm and spin to be on the same button. I don't like that. I don't think you should do that, but maybe. That's pretty much the only ones. Those are pretty much the only pairs, is jump and confirm, spin and cancel. I don't. That was not a bad idea. Let's add that to the wish list. If you make a huge mess, good luck pressing that option. Yeah. Exactly, Al. That's what I ran into the other day while I was just kind of playing around with it, is I just basically soft-locked myself because confirm and cancel wound up on the same button. And then I could not click into a button because it would immediately cancel. So maybe it's possible that we just say jump/confirm, spin/cancel, and you can't change those independently. Some master, but yeah. At the very least, I want to have instructions on like, okay, here's where your preferences are stored. Delete this if ever anything is really screwed up. I like the idea of swap instead. Join those somehow, and then swap if conflict, and then a full reset button is good. Shut up, snail. Yeah. Well, I don't have a way to remove a binding, but I do have a way to have overlapping bindings, which is bad. Having two things the same button is bad. The exception being jump and confirm, which need to be the same binding, but I want to have them as separate entities in the code base, just for future proofing. So I think I just need to make some kind of system that identifies that these are always the same. Sounds good, Al. Jump and confirm get thrown onto one line together, and that's that. Okay, action command. We're doing it. We're doing an action command. It's going to be similar to meter timing. Similar to meter timing, maybe. This is the big meter timing one. We need some kind of icon to represent. Ooh, what could it be? That's doable. That's doable. Okay, meter timing is the original, yeah. So copy this, and we're gonna make a new action command folder. What is this called? This is Simon Says, basically. This is gonna be a Simon Says mode. Is there a less infringing name? Follow orders. Tommy Tells. I'm never gonna remember that. It's not memory based. It's just like Dave demand. Diagonal Dave returns. Fun fact, Diagonal Dave was originally called Diagonal Dale in the original chat message that referenced Diagonal Dave. He was called Dale. But we collectively all shifted to Dave, and I don't know when that happened. Anyway, isn't that fun? Isn't that a fun fact? I'm about to need to go down. How is she still awake? What's going on here? They haven't messaged me on the walkie-talkie, but what's going on here? What's going on here, family? I want to go down and help, but I fear that my presence, my arrival, will shift things. Maybe if I just beep the walkie-talkie. Maybe that will alert them. Who knows? Press inputs. I can't just call it press buttons. Of course you're pressing buttons. All right, we're calling it Simon Says. There we go. Slapping buttons. All right, this is the base. Simon Says. Turtle. Hello, Turtle. How are you doing? Do you have a story for us, Turtle? I'll be back. Come on, please. First try! We're gonna spend all day trying to get this guy to do this. There it is! We got it! Get cheesed, nerd! Ooh, okay. Good. There's nothing in the rulebook that says we have to remove the orb from his necklace, just that it has to touch the pedestal. I'm already hard at work. With 1.7 out less than a week, I'm already hard at work on 1.8, even though I have no ideas for new features yet. I had to. It was the theme. So yeah, Dabble Worlds 1.7 available now for free at dabbleworlds.com. Enjoy it, play it. We're gonna have level contests soon with in-game prizes. All right, here we go, guys. Final Nigh of the night. Oh, yes! Let's go! Okay, I'm not gonna pretend to be a hype Twitch guy. It was the momentum. I stopped because I didn't know what was up there. And then when I got up there, I was like, ooh, I have screwed myself out of this one. But it doesn't matter, because I got it this time instead. So glad there weren't spikes behind the goalpost. I know you wouldn't do that, but still. Out of 27. And there's no way I'm getting all of those, of course. I think that last I checked, only about 40 people.
All right. Turtle. Turtle.
All right, this does not need this, I guess. Yeah, that's fine. We can get rid of that. We can get rid of that. It's just the hint buttons, right? Is this process? Yes. And it redoes everything. Okay. Well, yeah. Then we could have like a hidden action. 'Cause we got some special actions here, such as move, rotate, rotate. What are these? Oh yeah, left, right, up, down are special because we gotta do special things. Anyway, hi, Bach. Okay. Yeah. I did see the N64 engine. Yeah. It looks cool. Wouldn't that be something? Okay, so the idea is that these buttons can be like really close to each other. 100 pixels off looks great to me. Okay. Simon says action command. So we need number of inputs, base 5. Beep, 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 beep. Hide future inputs. False. Let's see them all. Welcome, GQ. I don't think so. Let me pull up. Let's see here. All right. SQLite uses a different syntax. I don't love it. You got to do order by and then limit. And then aware. I do keep track of how many times. Nope. Has not shown up yet. And if you're wondering why, it's because I think SNES games, Legend of Zelda items, both of those are still at quadruple weight. N64 games, GameCube games, Zelda Dungeons are all at double weight. And the new category actually started at half weight. So you can see four, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 40 times as likely. So yeah, that's about 2.5% chance of the new category showing up. To be fair, I'm not the one that changed these weights. You guys! What else do we need? Total time available. I mean, it probably shouldn't be long. Let's say 5 seconds. And let's also have a time per input as a separate timer. Right? Like if you spend too long on a single input, that should kick you out. But also if you spend too long altogether. And those can be changed, I guess. We'll see how that goes. That just needs to be always available. Available inputs. Whatever your jump button is, whatever your cancel button is. What else? We have the controller remapping. Here we go. Down, right. Jump and cancel. Partner ability. It's the other one. Those will be the default buttons that you have to press. Roy Koopa. Those should be all the major configurations things. He knew it. He knew the one. Yeah, it's just gonna be a very simple Simon Says game here. You don't. How many copies of Mischief Maker do you have, though? That's the true question. So I think I do want to add a special hint button for unknown, for question mark. Welcome back, Al. Yeah, we're going to say there's a special input called question mark. And if we get that one, then we have to show and hide some things. So this is special hint button. Uh-oh, what is special hint button attached to? This right here. It's just called hint button. Yes. Oh, you own 2 copies. Okay, good. I own 2 copies of Mario RPG. Do you believe that? I do. It's worth having 2 copies of Mischief Makers. I've got an original Mischief Makers box somewhere around here. Because the guy I bought it from just gave it to me as a bonus. He was a collector as well. He really wanted to get into the business of buying and selling and trading games. But, like, from his closet, I guess. I don't know. It was weird. That's the guy I played Crystal Chronicles with. And we did a whole summer of 3 to 4 player nights where he was just like, oh yeah, let's do Crystal Chronicles for a game night. Here, I've got some extra Game Boy Advances and cables. And like, oh, okay, good. Sounds good. Okay, so we need an alternate. And we're gonna call it Show me that Mischief Makers. I mean, on average, you're gonna have to go through 40 of them. And even then, it's not perfect. Oh, it's not a geometric sequence. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's approaching a limit of, I did the math one time, I think 60-something percent. Okay, so consider this. If you do a 50-50 twice, like you're trying to hit a heads on a coin flip, if you take something that's a 1 in 2 chance and you do it 2 times, your chance of nailing it is 75%, right? Actually, let's start even easier. If you do a 1 in 1 one time, you have 100%. A 1 in 2 twice, 75%. A 1 in 3 3 times. 27, 8 over 27, 19 over 27, 70% chance. Is that right? Because it'd be 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3, and then the inverse of that. Yeah, 70% chance. So you start 100, 75, about 70. And then what if you do a 1 in 4 4 times? Well, the answer is 68 and change percent. And so you can see it's like, it's getting like, it's dipped. It goes from 100 to 75 to like a little over 70 to a little over 68. It's like, where is it heading? Where is it heading? And the answer is 1 over E? 2.71828182845904523. Oh, the calculator doesn't go that far. Is that right? %? I think this is it. So it's heading towards 63%. You're never going to get any worse than that, but the more things you have to do, the closer to 63 it's going to be. So if anyone ever has the opportunity to say do something that they know is exactly 1 in a million chance, and you have a million shots at it, that is your chance of actually landing one of those million. About 63% chance. The number that it approaches is based on the mathematical concept E. Pi, everyone is familiar with, 3.14159. Wait, hang on. We can do better. Let me pull out Notepad. 1415926.
We got it.
Zero.
Puzzle showed up.
Okay, I think that's right. Something like that. Oh, good. Don't care anymore. So anyway, E, on the other hand, is much easier. That is a number that... So pi shows up in anything circles. It's not the secret cat. It's just the new one. And it's apparently just 5 letters, and yeah. Well, yeah, that one does. Colors. There you go. There's E to some number of digits, which this is using limits, mathematical limits, approaching infinity and stuff. So if you take that, if you take 1 over E, 1 minus 1 over E, that is, if you have a 1 in chance, and you take n attempts at it, then you will have a 1 minus 1 over E chance of hitting it. That's your lower bound. Like, if n is infinity, then that's the exact amount right there. And it only goes better. Like, if you have less tries, this is actually better. So, 1,000,000 tries at a 1 in a million, about 60-something%. 3 tries at a 1 in 3, okay, not bad, about 70%. So anyway, there you go. You might have to do it all in one word? CSS color names. CSS color names. You guys are all gonna get to learn CSS color names now, and you have no choice. All right, so how are we gonna display hidden? I think it's going to be a Sprite 2D, regionified to be this guy right here, my favorite. Colors. Scale it down until it's about the size of an average button. Modulate so I can actually see behind it a little bit better. Yeah, like right there is good. Okay, and then add to that. Do we have a question mark texture? No, we don't. But what we do have is labels. Where can I find a label? The pause menu. Yeah, just give me that. I just want to copy question mark. My little hand-drawn question mark that I love so much. Quest 64 items. Red wings. Yellow wings. Taupe wings. Okay, there we go. Bump it up, bump it up. There we go. So that is hidden. Very nice. So now our script here, we need to make sure hidden is on ready. Hidden will, by default, not be visible. Unless you hit this, in which case it is visible. Additionally, don't show that. Okay, is that all we need? For a question mark? Toof ring. Of the blah blah. Of the dun dun dun. Hapataba ba ba. All right, so Simon Says. Let's get back to Simon Says here. If hide future inputs, we're gonna set them. All right, first we gotta roll the inputs. First we gotta roll our random inputs. Correct inputs. For I in number of inputs, correct inputs dot append available inputs dot pick random. There you go. So that just appends out of this list of 3. It just picks 5 and it's a pick and replace. I mean, I'm pretty sure I know what that second word is. Oh! Okay, yep, got it. I know it. All right, and then we have to do things a little bit differently. Chosen input. We need to duplicate the hint button here. Ali! Thank you for the raid. How are the dinos? Wah, prat chat. Get you some food. Don't worry, we'll take care of your house. We won't put any boats everywhere. We won't fill your house with boats. Who would do that? Who would do such a thing? That's ridiculous. That's just so ridiculous. Correct inputs, var, input displays. Exactly. Input display is going to be equal to hint button dot duplicate. The original hint button can be removed. We don't really need it. Okay, a hint button has a thing called what? Ooh, what? Oh, hidden input. Action name. Action name is what it has. Okay, so that's what we're gonna do. Is we're gonna set it either to mystery or not. Prat chat, prat chat. Is that all we need to do to get it set? Oh, we need to position the input display. 100 times I. That seems good to me. Great. Cool. I'd love to see that happen. So let's make that work. Let's get a basic scene in here where we can test this Simon Says setup. Action command path. Oh, right, perfect. Just this. Just this. And then await result. Okay, cool. The Prat Chat is here. We need another new one. Great. Now you can enjoy your CSS color names, because some of them are very silly. You thought, khaki. Like, this is easy. That's the shortest one on the list, except for maybe like blue. So keep an eye out for blue. You might think red is shorter, but you might be surprised. Okay, then we need to go into the enemy directory and say that Melissa is allowed to use Firecracker attack. Additionally, we need to go into Game Manager and say that she is the current party member, so that when we go into the battle, we can just start it right away. I just want to see the icons appear correctly. Don't see the icons. Where are my icons? Where did you guys hide those? Action command. Simon Says is here, allegedly. Container position seems normal. Buttons empty. I didn't add them to the scene after creating them. I didn't sneak in any colors. They are official. They are, it is an official list that is maintained and implemented by all browsers, by all browser rendering engines. Gotta add the input display before we can see it. Okay, there it is. It's up there for some reason, but we got it. Why is it up there? Container is here. So why is it there? Why is it there? Let me see if I can find the transform for the position here. Okay, that moves it. That moves it there. Great. Oh, because it's not adding it to the container. Ha ha ha. So it needs to be hint button dot add sibling. There we go. Okay, so that'll position it much better. We can actually close some of these tabs, which would be lovely. There we go. Then we'll do doot 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 doot. Now I'm only seeing. Why am I only getting? Why am I always getting Q and E and never space? Bad luck? There we go. Q space, E space, space. Okay, the highlighting. Hint buttons have this magic thing right here. Should full bright when matched. Target state is pressed. I think we turn that off. It gets darker. I think. Copy property path. Let's try this. Just now realizing I don't think I even need to get the battle going. Yeah, it's still not showing up dark or otherwise. I could probably do a modulate on these. Simon says container buttons. If I just pick one at random, it does have a modulate. And yeah, I could kind of like darken, bring the modulation down to like 50%. So maybe that's a decent play on that. What does target state is pressed do? Should player be pressing this button? Well, okay, but what does that do? Oh, I see, I see. It dims it when you're... Okay, okay. If I say that you are supposed to press it, then it brightens when you are in the process of pressing it, and then goes back to dark when you let go of it. So, And that changes the modulation of the whole thing, so we gotta be a little bit careful on that. Okay, okay. So Simon says, instead of doing this, we will just say that all of them will get modulate of yay amount. So then the process here. Why is it on a 15-second cooldown? Who did that? How did that happen? What? What? Pull up my bot code. Dang it, you're distracting me. Okay, let's see here. Soundboard is currently on a cooldown. Where does that happen? Okay, here we go, here we go. Is cooldown expired? Seconds since last sound. It's based on last sound time. Total seconds. What's our cooldown seconds, I wonder? Cooldown seconds. Wait, nobody called increase. You called sound 66. Ah, oh wait, hang on. It's because that's a sound that doesn't exist, isn't it? It's because it doesn't exist. Play sound by number. Well. So then you're like, ah, 66, yes. Well, no. It's not because it doesn't exist. You would have hit... Is there any other way to get... It's only in the soundboard service that you get that. Play random. Play sound by key. Play sound by number. The only way to get that is if this returns false, which would only return false if cooldown seconds is greater than or equal to seconds since last sound. Cooldown seconds is apparently 15, it says. Soundboard cooldown setting. Soundboard cooldown. It is 15, yeah, okay. Then why is everybody able to use it forever? Somebody turned up the... Somebody did increase cooldown at some point. Last sound time. Is that ever set? Last sound time is never set, so this thing would never work. Last sound time needs to be set anytime a sound is played. Datetime.now. So it would have been set to whatever the initial value was. Oh, it's probably because nobody had done a sound yet? That doesn't make any sense. Oh, you know what? I wonder if someone increased the... Did someone use... less spam command? Is that what happened? No. No, it's not. Yeah, that's what more spam and less spam do, is they're supposed to control how often you can soundboard. Thank you for the follow. All follows are anonymous. All right. I'm going to take the bot down for a second. Rebuild. Reconnect. There you go. Okay, that makes sense because it's like the first 15 seconds that the bot is running. I said wait. Okay, then we try it again, and it's on a 15 second. Unless, for instance, I did more spam. And now... Great, it works. Alright, we're back to basically where we started. Sounds are still super quiet. Maybe just against... Here, let me do this. How about this? How do they sound now? With no music. I can crank him up a little bit.
Fate is a fickle mistress.
Okay, we need to program. We need to program. All I did was turn the music off for a second, so that just proves that the music is loud. Okay. Simon Says, go. Yay. What are you eating, Posey? You don't have anything. You just stomped that little tower. Just oh so casually put a paw up and destroyed something. Unbelievable, Posey. We are looking for the... Ooh. Do we care? We're only going to look at these inputs, at the available inputs. So for instance, if I say A, B, X, and Y are the inputs for this Simon Says, and you press the start button, I'm not going to count that against you. Start button wasn't even an option. You're fine. For if you just pressed the available input, then just pressed input equals available input. Now, the caveat there is if you press 2 buttons on the same frame, hey Liari, I am just going to pick one of them for you. It may be right, it may be wrong, so it's not in your it's not an advantageous strategy, button mashing. So if just pressed input, well, yeah. If it's not that, if you actually did press one of these available inputs, then let's check to see if you pressed the one you were supposed to. We need the current target index is going to start at 0. So we want to see correct. Oh, wait. I'm not storing these anywhere yet, am I? Yeah, I got to get those added to a list that we can actually reference later. All right, our target input is correct inputs target index. So the first thing in the list is the word jump, for instance. Our target input is jump. Now we need to see, did you get it correct? Well, if target input is the just pressed input, then yes, you got it correct. Otherwise, you got it wrong. And now we need to act accordingly. If is correct, play a noise. I don't know what yet. Increase the target index by 1 up to a limit. If target index, so let's say we have 5 items, then the max index is 4, and once we hit 5, then we have, that's when we have a problem. That's when we're done. That's when we got them all right. Otherwise, if it's not the last one, then we need to display some things. We need to grab the button. Display button is going to be our input displays. The next input display. Target index. Display button dot modulate equals color dot white. So fully highlight it. Oh, I don't want this. I want this. Yeah, darker. Yeah. Okay, let's try this so far. Here we go. Simon says action command. Don't worry about the fact that she fell. Also, why did the first one? I guess I do need to make the first one if I equals 0. There we go. Oh, that's nice and easy. Love it. Great. Else, pass, you lose. Okay, that's the basic. We also need a time sensitivity here. We also need time sensitivity. Full timer. I'm gonna track these timers separately, even though we may not use them. Button timer. Once you get a correct one, button timer goes back to 0. We're gonna check the button timers here. Total time available. There we go. If you ran out of time, then you lose. So we've got a lose condition, and a win condition. And we want to have a sound effect in there. This is pretty easy and straightforward for programming. I love this. Okay. Results. Get me the action command for that. This one might do the trick. Meter timing. When you are done, what do you do? Oh, you do a modulation. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Why not? Why not, then? Okay. Lose. Lose. Win. Okay. And regardless of whether you win or lose, we need to have a result timer. Yeah. If result, actually, we can do this first. If result does not equal -1, just don't do anything here. We're done. Okay. So, either way, result is the target index. Target index is the number you got correct. So yes, that's perfect. That's perfect. Boom, 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 boom. We do want to play a little sound effect on both winning and losing. And also correct, but not done yet. Okay. Then we are going to create a tween. We're going to tween a property. Modulate. We're going to go towards color dot transparent. over the course of half a second. And then call back Q free. So once that tween is done, get rid of this object. We don't need it anymore. All right, good. Next up. Error. Play menu error. Menu confirm is probably the one for this one. Don't I have a nice little big menu confirm? What does that sound? Confirm 2. Let's listen to it. And what's confirm 1? Uh-huh. Select. Okay, okay. I see, I see. All right, there we go. I think that's it. I think that's the end of the action command, and we can move on to the actual... Great. Oh no, I forgot. This is gonna be hard.
I would like to announce my new video game, Paper Go Bot, a cooking game set in the Dabbleverse. Cook exciting recipes such as junk, and also junk.
So, I'm very tempted, because it would be funny, to make it so that you can cook mistakes indefinitely. Well, not indefinitely, but I would love the idea of there being like a million different types of mistakes. Infinite mistakes. No. Next question. Okay. Time to actually make this move happen. That means we need bombs. We need bombs now.
Space, space. I'm gonna go to space. Space. Yes, please, space. Space, space. Go to space. 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 I'm gonna go to space. Space, space. Go to space.
How much damage does a bomb do? And does it do piercing? I'm gonna say... I'm gonna say this move will be good against lots of enemies, but not enemies with defense. It's an AoE attack. It's gonna be flat damage, which means it doesn't matter if you're under the effect of like some kind of strength up status effect. It still does the same amount of damage regardless. Let's see here. So you're gonna throw out 5 bombs. They are going to be randomly distributed around the enemies. You don't aim them. It's just going to pick points at random between a little bit left of the first enemy to a little bit right of the last enemy. And then it's just going to deal the damage to any enemy within their range. The idea is that most of those will only catch one enemy. Some of them might catch more. We'll see. 5 bombs is a lot, you know? Okay. But here's the little caveat here. This is not just like Bobbery's Bombs Away. I don't remember the name of it. He chucks 3 bombs. They each do 3 damage, and it costs 3 flower points. this is going to be different. Those bombs were a little inconvenient because the enemy would get an attack after you use the bombs, but before they blow up. They would not blow up until the end of your next turn. So it would be like, on turn 1, you throw bombs, then the enemy gets their turn. On turn 2, you do whatever, and then the bombs explode. It was fun, it was interesting, especially because on turn 2 you could throw more bombs and they would set each other off. So you could get 6 bombs going off in one turn, but it was kind of like a slow build-up. I want something similar, but I want to go off on my own a little bit. We're going to give Molma a special move called Detonate that is used specifically for blowing up all the bombs on the field. So she has to use 2 actions to use her move, but you could throw bomb on turn 1, throw bomb on turn 2, throw bomb on turn 3, and then detonate them all. And pack in all that damage. So, good for bosses. Scary. Maybe there should be should there be a limit on bombs? Or should there be a time limit? My worry is this opens the door for phase skipping. And then I have to build around that for the future. Or maybe she just can't add more bombs after a while. I gotta be careful about how much damage you could throw out. Like, if it's just a single boss enemy, it's just a single boss enemy. One damage. It makes it pretty bad against anything with defense. Maybe if it had 1 point of piercing. Piercing that doesn't currently do points, though. So either a bypass all defense for 1 damage every time. It's like, okay, that could be good. Because it's an expensive attack. It's like, not only do you have to spend the energy points to actually use the attack, you then have to spend another turn to detonate the bombs. I could do a lot with her repertoire. She could get a lot of different bomb types. We just got to figure out how much stuff we want to add to the game before it gets unreasonable. Anyway, let's focus on the firecrackers here. She's going to throw up to 5 bombs. If it's a cheap enough attack, that's not too bad. But dealing 5 damage is not huge. Dealing 5 damage to 1 enemy is not even, that doesn't feel big at all. Bobbery's out here throwing 9 damage with a delay, but it's still only 1 turn attack, 9 damage. That's good. If I make the bombs do 2 damage each, we're dealing 10 damage. That's a disc 1 nuke right there. But it takes 2 turns. If I make it expensive enough, maybe. If I make it like 5 energy. 5 energy, and you're doling out 10 damage for 5 energy. in 2 turns. Maybe 4 energy. It's that extra turn sync. It makes it so that you want to wait as long as possible. Yeah, that does make it a little bit more workable. Because then if you had like some set of enemies... No, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. I don't want to trivialize bosses. I think that's the main thing I'm trying to avoid. I need to close Visual Studio now because we're done messing with the soundboard code. All right, so how about this? How about this? One tiny change I think can fix this. Spread the bombs out across the whole field. That way, your average boss will be taking maybe like 2 bombs to the face instead of all 5. So that makes it a purely crowd control kind of attack that can be pretty powerful. So you could say, yeah, this does 2 damage. Dang. 2 damage on every enemy on the field. And it takes X energy points. And it takes a second turn to detonate the bombs. You know what else can do 2 damage to every enemy on the field? A tennis ball. And that is a lot cheaper. Dang it, I liked the detonate idea, but it just becomes less viable. It just becomes not good at anything. It needs to have something that it's good at. Bump the damage up to 3. But the lack of control makes it a very random move. What if detonate doesn't use your turn? What if detonate is just an option? Like detonate is an attack that doesn't eat up your turn, similar to there is one move you can make, swap order, where you just swap your position on the battlefield with your partner. That move has a special flag in it. Is it a flag or is it something within the move itself that refreshes your turn count? Swap player position. What? How do we get away with doing this for free? Ah, there we go. When you call it from the menu, I just bump your actions remaining back up. So I give you a rebate. We can do that. We could say that if you use detonate move, you get your action back. And that makes it on-demand damage, which is nice. Now, you still can't do it immediately. It's still going to be you spend your first turn throwing it, and then you choose when to detonate it. But she has to be up for it. She has to be not knocked out. Okay, that makes it a little bit better. 3 damage to all grounded enemies. What is a cherry pie bomb? You get cherry pie and cherry bomb. We're just slamming those together. A bomb factory. They're bombs. What? The delay aspect is interesting. 3 damage across the board is good. It's balanced a bit by the fact that so you'll likely get like 6 damage across the board. Oh, this is gonna be Punchinello. Yeah. Lots of little bombs. I want them to have a little bit of physics to them, which is probably not wise. I'm gonna need to have a new list of bombs. Hey, Velcro. Hello, bot? The bot didn't make the noise. Welcome in! Thank you for the raid. Oh, things are great. We're making new action commands. Look at this beautiful Simon Says. Wow, that was it. Okay, incredible. Don't mind the mole falling in the background. New bomb noise and that new bomb smell. Yeah, we're trying to make an attack where you chuck a bunch of bombs that you can later detonate. And that's a problem, because now I'm gonna have to track bombs and everything. So we got this. Here's the one attack we do have done, which is this one. That's it. Just dig underneath the enemy, attack any grounded enemy. And now I want to give her some bombs to chuck. But then, like, where do the bombs go? Just go wherever? Anywhere on the field? Completely at random? You're at the mercy of the bombs? It's like it could be really good or it could be really bad. It's a tricky situation. I'm thinking 2 damage each, but randomized. Yeah, what I want to do, I think, is have something in place that guarantees that at least one of the bombs is going to land within range. But I do think we actually are going to have like physics objects rolling around here. No, we can fake it. We can fake the physics. Do we want to fake the physics? No, I don't want them to be status effects on the enemy because I don't want any bomb to be tied to any specific enemy. I want the bombs to be only looking at the positions, and a single bomb should be able to hit more than one enemy. So like, I'm just gonna chuck out 5 bombs. What if they're flying enemies? I think the firecrackers should not be able to hit flying enemies. I think they should only be able to hit grounded enemies. She's a grounded partner. Leon is the only partner who can hit enemies in the air so far. Yeah, because you can. I've done it a few times in this game of doing like oh, you're right, Al. doing a tween where I pick a halfway point and then I do a quadratic tween up, going as a tween out, and then quadratic tween in on the way down, and you get a very convincing parabola. Like, it's not perfect, but you can't tell. It's so close that it's fine. What if there's a pincer battle? That age-old system where you can have enemies on both sides of you. I guess that would have to be the bombs go on whatever side she's facing, because already that system does handle that you only are attacking. If you have a hit everything move, it only hits your side of the battlefield. Your team on each side of an enemy, and you just wouldn't be able to switch places with your partner, because then it'd be like wee. And swapping out partners would look a bit weird, but that's an interesting stop. Oh, like player enemy, partner enemy. I don't know if that's what you're describing. Kind of a my team, your team. Two allies on the left, two enemies in the middle, two more allies on the right. Oh. That gets complicated. It would certainly be a real showstopper. A real pincer battle, but Robot's head comes off to perform the pincer. Oh no. Head and hands boss. Do I have any head and hands bosses planned? Kind of. It's a late game boss, of course, because that's when head and hands bosses show up. I tried to look up. I guess we were in Dupu's channel when we were talking about head and hands bosses. And I was like, oh, I'll just pull up the TV tropes page to find some examples. And there's no article specifically for head and hands boss. It's like, I think it was like giant head boss or something. But it's like, no. That's not what I'm talking. I'm specifically talking about a boss where you're on a battlefield. There's a big head in the background. And you're interacting with the hands, you know? And then occasionally, like, the head comes out and then you attack the head. Or, like, you have to jump on the hands. Like, the hands are... Yeah, it's like, they don't cover it. They don't cover it. It's the head and hands boss. Do you remember the Elder Dragon from Dabble World's Rise of the Dabble Dragon? I feel like the big point of a head and hands boss should be it should be a 2D. It's lousy with them. It should be it's that specific like SNES style where the hands are what you're interacting with and you attack the head, but you can't reach the head. You have to jump on the hands. Something like that. Yeah, Cuphead. Cuphead is weird because there's so little in the way of physics. Cuphead is a weird outlier of a game. I love the look of Cuphead. I think the gameplay of Cuphead is not super interesting, but that's from me coming from like a background of playing a ton of platformers.
Only I have the brains to rule like that.
Hey, this guy. All right. We did the thing. The brain cell. Right, we were gonna make firecrackers. Are we gonna fake it? All right. We're gonna have to store the bombs. We can't get away from that. The bombs have to be stored somewhere. Do the bombs store data about how big of a blast they are? How does this work? Do I only care about the positions of the bombs? The bombs can store a little bit of data. The list will just store the bombs. The bombs will store additional details if needed later. So it's kind of a delayed attack, but it's different. It's different than a delayed attack. Bombs, a little data as a treat. All right, bombs. There's only one delayed attack in the game right now, and it's in Chapter 2, and you guys haven't seen it yet. No, we can't do that. Not like technical reasons, but she needs to be able to operate independently of Dabble. If Dabble was not on the battlefield, she still needs to be able to use all of her attacks. If a move ever requires Dabble to be present, it's not going to work. Dabble was the bad guy all along. Battle? Battle? All right, so we need to make battle attacks. Create new folder. Bombs. Create new scene. Firecracker. Like, I could. Rigid body? We could. We shouldn't. We're gonna fake physics. We're gonna just give them. We're just gonna pick a random landing spot. We're gonna do a quad tween, and then we're gonna give it just a little bit of roll and call it a day. That's what each one's gonna do. We're just gonna We're gonna do a little bit of interpolation, a little bit of extrapolation, and we'll meet somewhere in the middle. So this is gonna need a sprite 3D. I need a bomb. I gotta draw a bomb. I don't want to draw a bomb right now. We don't have time for drawing a bomb. Baseball. The baseballs explode. We're going to draw some custom sprites for this, but not now. Okay. Robot for scale. A little bit of discombobulation. all in good fun. There's our bomb. Sprite can rotate just fine. Sprite can bounce if we need it to. Okay, there's our bomb. Great. So partner moves. Strike a pose, and then make a number of bombs equal to this. So for I in result, assuming that result is not 0. Delay, milliseconds. We're gonna say 250. And then we have to do this append array. I guess for each one of these, we're gonna append a new action queue. Consisting of wait for the delay to finish. So the first one happens immediately, then blah, 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 blah. Wait, firecracker, path. All right, we need to create an object. Who can do such a thing? Player moves. Bird summon. Bird, bird, bird. Create sprite. Okay, there's our example of creating a sprite. All right, so sprite holder. Creation point. Bomb start position equals source dot actor dot position plus vector 3 like 0.5 up. So start there. Make a bomb. Great. We have a okay. Now we have a bomb. Now we need to do some tweening. Let's look up. There's a chapter 1 enemy that does some good tweening right here. Look at this. Look at this. That's the one. Games in tween. Very good. Very good. Hope you're proud of yourself. All right. So move position X. So we need to pick a target position. Okay. This depends on where the enemies can be, and that's very tricky. Enemy team is not accurate, is it? All grounded enemies. That's who you're targeting. Where is it gonna go? That is the question. I don't want to just look at the list of targets and then base it on that, because then the bombs will clump. The bombs will clump too much when there's a single target. It'd be great when there's a lot of enemies, but I want to be, let's see, Battle manager. There's like after you initialize the units, don't you have to position them? Right, right. So we initialize all our units, and then we set unit positions. Here we go. Here we go. These are the 3 places that things can go in. This is what we need. This is the range of positions. We have the player zone here. We have the enemy zone here. And we have the flank when we're being flanked here. So I would want to have some kind of function to get a range of positions. Set unit positions. How does this work? I've got 2 positions listed. Front position and back position, apparently. Frontmost. Oh, and then we kind of center it around the midpoint. Right. Okay, that makes sense. And then the distance between each... Battle spacing is just front position, back position. Let's take a look at this. Yet again, add a player for scale. Hotspots. Oh yeah. Maybe. Player. Should be really easy to just do this. Turn these on. Let's take a look. Whoops. Yeah, sorry. That wasn't supposed to be there. That's not done yet. I'm trying to figure out the positions. Okay, interesting. But yeah, roughly. Can I see a room full of piggles? Of various types. Okay, so this is what I'm interested in here. This right here. Look at that mess. Look at that mess. This is what we have to deal with. Ugh. Okay, we can do this. I worry that we're gonna have special code in this one move to determine the range of the bombs. It can later be moved, admittedly. It can be moved later. But for now, 2, 1, 0 is too close. So we're going from like 0.5 to 5. Okay, we're going 0.5 to 5. X range. But if targets targets 0.side equals battle manager dot player side units, then X range equals -1 to -3. I don't know. It doesn't really matter because that should never happen. And if the first target dot flank, oh boy, flank equals 0. Then we're looking behind us. Now we need to look over here. -7. -8. So let's just hope that doesn't ever... I mean, it's gonna happen. Yeah, it's gonna happen, but... Oops. I removed the battle scene. Let's say -9 to -6. And hope that that's good enough. Okay, so now we've got our range of X values. Now we're going to set our target position of where the bomb is going to land before doing a little bit of roll. And that is going to be rand F range, X range 0, X range 1. Why did I do it that way? Doesn't matter. Vector 3, that's our X. Our Y is 0. Our Z is 0. Good enough. All right, now we can bring these back. Position right there. Yeah, that's literally it, isn't it? Okay. Except this is going all the way to 0. I guess I need target direction. Or, I guess, roll position. Roll position is going to be target position plus vector 3, a little bit of roll. But it depends on the direction you're going. I don't want to do a ternary there. It's going to roll to the right normally. But if we're looking at a flank or we're targeting the players from the right only. Oh, geez. Okay, hang on. The direction. I have a function for this, don't I? Yes. What does this spit out? Oh, it spits out a vector 3. Oh my gosh, I love that. Oh, good. I did something right. Go in the target direction by 0.3 units. There we go. Okay. Ugh. Ugh. It just returns what I need. After it lands there, then tween a little bit more towards the roll position over the course of 0.2, I don't know. And that's got to be with ease out. So that it slows down as it nears the end of its arc. And then that's the end of that one. That's the end of that one. So do that. I don't want them to all go the same height, do I? No, probably not. Great. probably don't want them to go all the same speed either. Arc time. 0.5. 0.5 times 1,000. 0.5 times 1,000. Yeah, I think a little bit of mix and match here will help this look a bit more interesting. Okay, throw these bombs. And then also, Battle Manager. Dot bombs, dot append, the bomb. The contents of sprite holder. So that needs to be execute. Okay, contents of sprite holder. And then we're done. We've got the bombs out at this point. Let's try it. Let's just see what happens. This is still for Chapter 3. Yes. Chapter 3 is scheduled to be worked on through the end of March, most likely. All right, what did we... non-existent function get method in base bool. That means that our action queue, yep, contains a non-callable. Yep, we did a create sprite instead of a bind. All of these functions need to be bound. No loose functions with the results floating about. Okay, that was close. Bombs went out. Some of those went a lot higher than I expected. And we still can't delete them. I guess I also need to bring their target Z out a bit towards the camera. Just so that they're more, there's more obvious. The height. The height on this going up to 2.5, way too high. Let's say it goes between 0.75 and 1.75. There will be sounds as well. Sound. Whistle fwee. Sure. Okay, and it went a little bit farther than I wanted it to. So maybe the 5 is going a little bit too far. Because it's going to go a little bit of extra distance, right? A random distance. No, actually, no, it's always 0.3, huh? Okay. Go in slow motion here. Looks good, looks good. That one just stopped weirdly. As though the arc time was not properly set up here. Because it wasn't. Needs to do this. That's why it was weird last time, wasn't it? Okay, that was wrong. That was wrong because we don't need the 1,000. Fire Tween is not using milliseconds. Fire Tween is using the actual number of seconds. Hey, Mr. Cat. That's right. She's got bombs. There's a weirdness there. There's a weirdness there, and I don't know what it is. I can see that something weird is happening, and I'm guessing it's the timing on the tweens. I shouldn't be using tweens for it, but it works nicely with my system, so here we are. It snaps and then slides. Okay, I parameterized this because I thought that would make things easier. Arc time is the time it takes for it to go halfway. The time it takes to arc up, and then arc time again to get back down. So X, it's going to go the distance of X in 2 of those. Same with Z. Y, it's going to spend 1 arc time, then it's going to wait, then it's going to do the second arc time, and then it's going to wait. And then it can do this. Maybe there could be like a slight edge case, like a little off by 1 with the wait timers. But it's fine if there is. This isn't the worst. Nice. Okay, it correctly... I think I want the Z index to be a little bit higher here. It's really the further out it gets, the worse it gets. If that is your real name... It's like I want more Z the further out it goes. Welcome in, Fanny Slam. Okay, I think that works. It's still baseballs, which is, you know, fine. We'll replace it with actual art later. So right now, there it goes. Trains love baseball. It's so true. Hi, I'm Doggy. We are getting the partner number 3's move set. Main move is pretty straightforward. Easy peasy. It's a little... Yay, you do damage. So that one's just pass or fail. You either do damage or you don't. I'm a pro! It looks like I'm a super pro there, but actually, that type of move has a flag on it that says if you block the first bit of damage, all subsequent bits will be blocked. And if you don't block the first bit, you don't block any of them. So it looks like I'm doing 5 great blocks in a row there, but I'm only just doing the first one. So our other attack is going to be way more complicated. So the idea is you will throw out some number of bombs. It will randomly distribute them around. And then she's going to have another move that's a freebie, like it doesn't even take a turn to use it, called Detonate. Well, she'll do a big plunger detonate, and all the bombs on the field will explode. They will have a fairly small range, I think, but a single bomb can hit multiple enemies. I still need to figure out the balance. Those are balls. I mean, for now they are. I didn't want to break stride and start drawing firecrackers. Once we get into the art stuff, we're going to be pretty much not having any time for coding left. So balance is the tricky thing here. This is a chapter 3 move. So we're in the early mid game or maybe the late early game, depending on how you want to draw the lines. We're kind of in that border there. We're entering the mid game here. It is currently completely random where these go within their range, which isn't great. It would be nice. The Middle Earthy game, there you go. We could cheat. We could make it look random, but it's actually predetermined that it always gets like, it distributes them in such a way that you always get a certain amount of damage in. I don't love that as much, but that's a possibility. Like for me, I would say this one very clearly is going to hit both of these guys. This one should hit this guy. These should hit nothing. This one, no, I don't think this one should hit anything. Because I feel like law of averages should help. Like, the fact that you're throwing out 5 on a good roll should distribute the chances very nicely. Not perfectly. Sometimes they're going to be all bunched up. But pretty good. I could throw out 10 bombs. Throw out 10 bombs, make them all do 1 damage. You want to talk a law of averages. We just got to keep upping the number of bombs. But like if each of these bombs does, 10 bombs at 1 damage a pop, that's significant. But is it good? Okay. By making Detonate a free-to-use move that doesn't even cost a turn, which we should do some kind of icon for that. That don't take a turn. Oh my gosh! Another raid, and the alerts are not playing, and I thought it was Twitch alerts. I don't know why that's... Hello, Chip. Welcome in. Big Boy Games Official coming in with a raid. Thank you for the raid. Pretend I had some kind of sound alert that was really cool. Oh wait, I've got Factorio alert. There we go. Soundboard. There we go. Oh no, the Raiders. There we go. Raiders. Yeah, okay. Well, you hear it once. It's like, huh, I guess my wall is, I guess they're going for the outer wall. But then you start hearing it like 3 times immediately after that, and you're like, uh-oh. It's such a good moment. I've got a clip of when we were doing our multiplayer run, and we're on Gleba, and I'm just sitting there like, huh. Okay, so I need to move this over, and then I just get immediately swarmed by the Wrigglers. That I accidentally had them in my pocket. Like, oh, right. Okay, cool. Oh, man. Oh, I want to play Factorio. But no Factorio until we ship this thing in like 2 years. Oh, gosh. Okay, so what we're working on tonight is new moves. No, Gleba is good. Gleba is good, actually. Everything's free forever. Like, even Vulcanus. You're going to run out of calcite eventually. Well, it's like the idea is like they stuck to your suit or something. All right, this old lady can dig. First, I'm gonna make my front line defend. So it's a very easy mini game for that attack. Haha, you only do 1 damage. But the main attack that we're trying to figure out tonight is this one right here. If anybody played Thousand Year Door, this game is better. Inspired by, but better. This is going to be similar in niche to one of Admiral Bobbery's attacks, where he throws 3 bombs out. In that one, you aim the bombs. In this one, you control how many bombs there are. And they just kind of scatter around randomly. There's something wonky with that arc. Very new, recently built doors. And then she's going to have a move that lets her detonate on demand without eating up a turn. So the idea is, like, you don't get the damage right away. So it is a plan ahead sort of move. So the question now is balance. It's like, okay, how much damage on average? But that's completely unrelated to the plot. So current thought, we got to figure out how much damage these are going to do and how much it's going to cost to use the move. Because this is going to be spread out, it's not going to be super effective against bosses. This is going to be great against big crowds. And so I want to make it actually great against big crowds. If you got a big crowd, most of these bombs are going to hit 2 enemies at once. That's good. Like right here, if I made these do 2 damage each, then boom, 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 boom. So this guy's hit for 4. This guy's hit for maybe 6. So that's 10 damage. That's reasonable, and I think that's fairly average against a pair. If you had more enemies, like 5 enemies, then you're looking at a ton of damage. Like, you might be doling out 20 damage in 1 turn. I'm gonna say it costs 4 to throw these out. Because it doesn't do piercing, but... Oh, should it do piercing? Should it break defense? Maybe it's just a special flag on some enemies that say that it pierces... Like, explosive damage pierces these guys. Oh yes, that's the demo link that you bought. If anybody wants to check out the game, it's got a full prologue and chapter 1 available for play now, with the plan being a full 8 chapters. Yeah, it could be expensive and just you just 4, 5. It needs to be good at something, right? That's the thing. It needs to be good at something to make it worth doing. It should be like, I wish I had Mulma out on my team right now, looking at this enemy lineup, and make you actually think like, you know what? I'm gonna switch to her so that I can use it. I'm gonna give up 1 action to get her out so that she can attack all of these guys. Yeah, let's go with 4 or 5. We can balance later. Balance can be adjusted after testing as we find what works and what doesn't. Plus, it doesn't hit enemies in the air, so it all works out. Okay. 4, and then that just creates bombs. So we got to remember, all we've done now is create bombs. We need to actually detonate the bombs next. So detonate. 0. Say detonator. Because I don't want the implication to be that she herself will detonate. I don't need an action command. Grab the bombs. No, I don't need that. Grab the bombs, and then for each bomb, blow it up. Check the position. Deal damage to the enemies. It should probably happen in pretty quick succession. Just pow, 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 pow. For bomb in bombs. Have a good night, Al. Okay. For bombs in bombs, we need to blow up bombs. Things are happening. We need to make an explosion. After doing this, empty the list. What are you having a problem with? Oh, I probably am missing. There we go. No. Wait, what are you having a problem with here? Firecracker path out. Right, we're gonna make an explosion. We're gonna put that on bomb position. We're gonna wait some length of time. We're gonna delete. Delete the sprites. This system is very queue heavy, and not necessarily in a good way. It feels necessary, and it works, but it does get very unwieldy. So create an explosion. At that same time, queue damage. Against who? Against somebody. Hit enemies. Q hurt action multi. There we go. It looks like this. Okay. Q hurt action multi against hit enemies. And then, I don't know, some kind of flags here, like whether or not it's going to do piercing damage, special flags on the damage. So now we need to figure out how to check which enemies are getting hit. It's only going to be grounded enemies. we're going to be basing this on X position only. So actor position dot X minus bomb position dot X is less than, I don't know what would be an appropriate amount. So let's just mess with this in the remote view here. Let's just mess with this guy. This guy right here. His current position is 3.0. So a bomb sitting... All right. So this is 2.2. So center a bomb. 2.2. What if center a bomb was here? I would say yes. And that is 2.7. So yeah, we're going to say it's got to be less than 0.6 away for it to hit it. And the other thing is that we want to make sure that using this move doesn't expend an action. This is a freebie move. You use this move, you get your action back. Rebated. Next up, add it to the list of attacks. And that's it. That should be it. Let's throw some bombs out and see if they explode. And then we can call this a success. Firecrackers. Ooh, that one went flying. So I'm expecting only that one to hit. Oh no. Invalid assignment of property array on base object of type. What? Key bombs with value of type array. But that is what it is. Is it not? It's definitely... It's this typed array business. I have to do dot, instead of just doing equals, I have to do dot assign. Which feels very silly. Yeah. I don't know if anybody else comes across that problem much, but it is very annoying. Okay, that looks like we're gonna get 2 and 4. Minus... Okay, 1 and 2, I guess, because of defense. Detonator. Go. Dang it. I didn't have an explosion. I haven't made the explosion sprite, so it failed. Oh, I tried to work too far ahead and set the placeholder like, oh yeah, I'll have an explosion, a path to an explosion sprite here. I don't have an explosion sprite. All right, we're not finishing that then. I mean, it's of course not going to be done. I still need to draw the stupid firecracker. Let's go visit somebody. Who are we going to go visit? Who are we gonna go see? Probably Epic Photon. Good old friend of the channel. Epic Photon. Let's do it. Thank you all for hanging out while I made this mole throw bombs. To do bomb throwing pose. Bomb throwing pose. She needs to like, and then have a little throwing animation. Oh no, oh no, we're good. I saw a good night as the last message in Photon's chat and I got worried. No, someone else is going. Someone else is going to bed. Me. Good night, everybody. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.